How's everybody doing? Welcome to Tinkering with Harleys. First, let me thank everybody who has subscribed. I greatly appreciate it. Your comments and questions have been great. Keep them coming. If you're watching these videos and you enjoy them, by all means, please subscribe. Well, that day has finally come. We've got everything out of here that we had to get out of here, and now we're going back to that primary that leaked that we took apart a couple of months ago. And we got to use primary and blah, 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 blah. So today we're going to start to work on that. So I've cleaned the primary case up, like the edges from the old gasket, things like that. Today we're going to remove the seals and the bearing and put new bearings in since it's used. We don't want to use any of the old stuff. And when I looked at the one seal, this one seal had been replaced. Somebody put it in backwards. So I'll show that to you. So enough said, we'll get right to it. Okay, now here's our primary. And you can see the seal is in backwards here. And I can see it's not a stock Harley seal. This is definitely an aftermarket seal here, so that tells me it's been replaced. And here is the other side. This is a seal for your jack shaft for your starter. And there's your bearing. Now the bearing don't seem too bad, but I'm not going to risk it on a used primary. Since everything else is going to be new, we might as well put new bearings in it and new seals. So the first thing we're going to do is take out this seal here, this one right here. And that's, like I said, that's for the jack shaft. So we're going to turn it over, remove these. Now, over the years, Harley Davidson keeps changing these primaries. So I think they changed this one in either 05 or 06. I know 07s are different. But at any rate, we'll get this seal out. Take a 9/16 deep socket and a hammer. Pops it right out. Yeah, and that definitely needed the new seal. That is just worn and dried out and cracked. So the one thing we want to do in here is we want to clean this all out. There's a lot of crud in there. So we'll get that taken care of right now. Now you can use carburetor or brake cleaner or anything that you'd like. And get that all cleaned out of there. These things have a tendency to just get all gummed up. And you don't realize it until you take one of them out. Get some Q-tips. Yeah, somebody's definitely been in here before me. You just want to get all that dirt and crud that's stuck in there out. The bushing here is okay. And we'll swing it over and give it a shot from the other side, but that's all dried out. That would have leaked. And we'll give it a shot from this side. That's starting to look pretty good. Give it another shot in here. I want to make sure this is nice and clean. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty clean now. Yeah, that's feeling good too. Okay, well, we let some of that brake cleaner evaporate. We're going to take this seal out. Now, if you remember, sometime back I did a video and told you could take a seal out with a wrench. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. Now what you want to do is you just want to get the wrench underneath here. You don't want to go all the way over to the housing and just give it and it pops right out. Well, this is a different seal altogether. Definitely an aftermarket seal. I've not seen one like this before. And as you can see, or maybe you can't, let's see if we get a good can. There's a snap ring here. And another snap ring there. So on the later models, they only have one snap ring. They eliminated the two snap ring deal. So while we're waiting on that, we're going to pull the snap rings out of there. Okay, I think that's got it. Okay, there's one. And now we'll turn it over and get the other one. And there's the other one. And I believe that's the original bearing. Now, this is going to have to be pressed out over on the press. But before we get over and do that, we're going to install the jack shaft seal. Now, these are fairly easy to do. Now, if you look in there, you can see the lip where that seal seats. The easiest way I found to do this is take a 3/4 inch socket, and it fits. You feel it clip right into there. And now we'll take a little bit of oil. And we'll get it all around on the seal. So it helps go in a little bit easier. Wipe the excess off. And then we'll set that right down in there like that. Let's see, I want to make sure you got a good shot of this. And then you just tap it in till it seats. And it's seated. And the way you tell it's seated is it's flush with this surface. And as you can see, it's flush with that surface. And as you turn it over, you can see there's a whole lot more seal there than there was on the other one. Well, no, maybe you can't see it. I don't have the right camera angle on it. Let's move this. You can see the defined seal. The other seal, a lot of it was worn away there. So the other seal was definitely no good. So now we'll move over to the press and we'll press this bearing out. Okay, now the way you remove this bearing, you move it from the back side of the backside of the inner primary, the side that faces the transmission is the side that you remove it from. So we'll take our bit and put it in there like that. And we'll get this lined up. And here we go. That's it. She's out of there. Okay, now we got the old bearing out of there. This is the old bearing that we just pressed out. Now you want to feel down in there. Now the new bearing is going to go in from this side. And we'll use a little brake cleaner on it. Want everything nice and clean. One thing I may have forgot to mention, because every time I do a video after I play it back, say, geez, I should have said this or I should have said that. One of the things I've never mentioned with everything I take apart, all the screws and bolts and nuts, I take and I clean them all. And anytime you take anything apart, you want to give it a good clean. And I take a die for whatever size bolt it is, and I run it up and down the die. It gets rid of all the crud that's built up on it and any Loctite that may be on it. We're getting this all nice and cleaned out. We want a nice clean surface to work with. Now, if you can see in there, I don't know if you can or not, but that's nice and clean. Now, you can also see 2 grooves in there. And as I said before, Harley's changed these primaries so many times. I think the last year they used this one, it was 06. I may be wrong. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put the top snap ring or the back snap ring in here in this groove. On the later models, it has a lip here that you bottom the bearing out into. They've eliminated the snap ring. This you got to kind of be careful with. So now we'll get the snap ring and we'll put it in there. Now, on these snap rings, there's a flat side, which is here, and a bevel side. The flat side goes in, facing down like this. The bevel side stays up. And the same thing with the other one. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this in there. Or I think we will. I need deeper teeth on this. Well, we got to go to the heavy duty one. They're released. Now we'll give a good double check. Make sure everything is in there. Yeah, that's all in there. Now we'll install the bearing from this side. Okay, here's a new bearing. And you insert it with the numbers facing down. I don't think I'm going to do that. Let me get a mallet to get this thing started. Because the one thing you got to do when you're pressing this in is you have to support it from the other side, so you don't push that snap ring out. So we'll get that all set up. Okay, now what we've done here is we've supported the bottom so that won't push out. And now we're just going to press it in from the top very carefully. So we got to watch real close. It's just about there. I think it's there. No, it's got to go a little bit more. No, maybe not. Let me get it over on the bench and take a look. Okay, so using the press, that got it. So now we'll put the other snap ring on and the seal. And again, same thing with this one. There's a beveled edge and a flat edge. The flat edge goes to the bottom. Heavy duty ones again. And that's got it. And I'll take a screwdriver and make sure everything is seated. Everything looks good. Now, with the later ones, there is an oil hole up in here. On these earlier primaries, you do not have to worry about that. Okay, now we're ready to put the oil seal in. Okay, now the oil seal goes in this way. Now, oh, this is different. This came from Harley Davidson. It's a James seal. That's the very first. Now you can see on the old Harley seal, it's an old Harley seal, it's the same thing. You just turn them upside down like that. So these, you do not want to put oil on these on the outside because they can walk out. And you can see, you can just about press it in there with your hands. Now, what you want to do, now that it's in there, you can put oil inside the seal. You want to lube that up real good. And the bearing itself. Do, 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 do. So this primary is ready to go now. Okay, so the primary is all done. We got the jack shaft seal in, we've got the new bearing in, and we've got the seal in for the main shaft. So now it's just a matter of putting the inner on the bike and finishing this one off. So until the next time, thank you very much for watching, and everybody be safe out there.